Yo, it is Barack Lesnar of Barack Lesnar Hoops, and today's video I think you're going to find incredibly useful. It is the top fantasy centers of the 2025-2026 season. Would definitely hang around until the end of the video. But before we get started, do me a favor and smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, and let's get that ratio of subscriptions up. And check out the guide in my description, which is full of information to help you dominate your fantasy drafts and also support the work I'm doing here on Barack Lesnar Hoops. So before we waste too much more time, let's just get started. All right, so right here, you see a resource that I have put together that has the top big men. It has their at draft position, and I use diamond tier at draft position, which is valuable to you because you normally need to pay the Yahoo Premium subscription to get access to that data, but I have access to it and I have included it in this breakdown. You'll also see some key traits that I have placed for the players on this list, just explaining what it is that is appealing to me. The whole idea is that you should be able to watch this video and walk away with an understanding of what players you want, why you want them, and where you would have to target them. My whole goal is by the time you finish watching all my content and you go into your draft, you have the swagger of a future champion, because that is what you will be, my friends. So number one on the list, not surprising at all. This should be consensus across the board. It is Nikola Jokić. So he is the assist unicorn. The fact that he can get you double-digit rebounds, can get you almost double-digit assists, helps your field goal percentage, helps your free throw percentage, scores for you. The steals are actually not bad at all. 1.8 steals, almost 2 steals per game from a big man. That's pretty crazy. It's almost hard to believe. I know that it's true, but hard to believe, along with the fact that he can get you 2 3-pointers per game. Literally the only category that you could kind of complain about is his blocks per game. He only gets you 0.6, but at that point, when he's doing literally everything else, this is as perfect of a fantasy basketball player as you can get, at least until this next guy matures a little bit, that guy being Victor Wembanyama. Now, Victor Wembanyama is the ultimate unicorn. He can get you threes, he can get you blocks. And before I go into Victor too much further, I do want to point out one thing. If you do draft Nikola Jokić and your playoffs are weeks 21 to 23, just be careful. He only plays 9 games, weeks 21 to 23. The best setup for him is if your fantasy basketball playoff schedule is weeks 20 to 22, but only 9 games if you have him weeks 21 to 20. Victor Wembanyama with the San Antonio Spurs, he's actually fallen to a 5.5 at draft position in diamond tier leagues. I'm assuming as we get closer to the draft, that's probably going to pick up some, but Victor Wembanyama can help you in almost every single category. And the fact that he can get you 3.1 3-pointers per game, along with 3.8 blocks per game, that's elite territory. I love 3-and-D guys, and I'm talking about guys that got you a 3 and a block. I used to lose my mind about Robert Covington being able to get you close to 2 threes and close to 2 blocks. And now you're talking about a guy that's getting you almost 4 blocks per game, along with 3 blocks per game, along with 3 3-pointers per game, and is only going into his 3rd year. Last year, his season was spoiled due to that issue with his shoulder, unfortunately. But this year, hopefully he can stay healthy. And if he does, he could be a league winner for you. Now, as far as the fantasy basketball playoffs, has a much better schedule. He has 11 games, 10 games, and 11 games, depending on what setup your league has. So make sure you look into that before you draft. Anthony Davis is now with Dallas, has an at draft position of 8.6. He's not going to play a whole lot of games. Last season, he only played 51 games, but he did average 24.7 points, 11.6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, got you 1.2 steals, 2.2 blocks. Isn't going to get you a lot of 3-pointers, but like we said with Nikola Jokić, it's hard to be upset at him when he's helping you in almost every other category. And 77% free throw for a guy that gets you over 2 blocks per game, I'll take that any day of the week. That's something I'm incredibly comfortable with. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he is a punt free throw guy. If you draft Giannis, just understand that it's very unlikely that you're going to overcome the hit to your free throw percentage. But if you decide to punt free throws, which I would recommend, he's going to help you with your points. He's going to help you with your rebounds. He's going to help you with your field goal percentage. He's going to get you steals. He's going to get you blocks. He's going to get you assists. He's going to help you across the board. And the Bucks have a pretty decent playoff schedule with 11, 11, and 10. Next up at number 5, we have Domantas Sabonis with the Sacramento Kings. at draft position of 14.8. He's pretty reliable as far as games played. Played 70 games last season, got you 19 points, 13.9 rebounds, which I'm pretty sure led the league, along with 6 assists. So a better rebounder than Jokić, not quite the assist guy, but 6 assists per game for a guy getting you 14 rebounds per game. Definitely a unicorn. Steals and blocks is where he's going to hurt you, and he doesn't get you many threes. The field goal percentage is elite at 59% for a guy getting you 19 points per game. So that's another area he can really help you. The free throw percentage is average now. He used to hurt you. If he can continue helping your free throw percentage, if he can go up closer to 80%, I can see his at draft position going up significantly. At number 6, we have my Dominican brother, Karl-Anthony Towns with the New York Knicks. He has an ADP of 15.2 in diamond tier leagues. Last season played 72 games and had a very successful season with the New York Knicks where he averaged 24.4 points, 12.8 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 1 steal per game, 0.7 blocks, which is disappointing because in the past he was a guy that could get you closer to 1.5. But if he's going to hurt you in any area, then he's helping you in every other area. He's getting you 2 3-pointers per game, 52.6% from the field, 83% from the free throw line. That is production that's really hard for me to be upset at. So I think he's the 6th best big man on this list, maybe the 5th. I might actually pick him over Domantas Sabonis. So I rank these guys based on their at draft position, so you can kind of expect where it is you need to pick them. But truth be told, I might pick Karl-Anthony Towns above Domantas Sabonis. Now, the only caveat with this is, if you see here, he only plays 9 games, weeks 21 to 23, which does hurt his value. Paolo Banchero. So he was in my do not draft video, but he is being drafted in the top 15, and he's too good to not include in the top 50 list. It would be absurd. I do caution against reaching so high for him, but he is the 7th best big man based on diamond tier ADP. Last season only played 46 games due to an injury that he suffered to a pectoral muscle, I am pretty sure. But he got you 26 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 4.8 assists per game, 1 steal per game, 0.6 blocks per game, 1.5 3-pointers made per game, 45% from the field, along with 72% from the free throw line. So the field goal percentage is fairly average. The free throw percentage is putrid. He's not going to help you with your steals and blocks, and his threes are pretty low. So with the goodies, there are also areas in which he hurts you, which is why I'm kind of against drafting him so high. He is a young player, and he could take a leap and improve in those areas, but I kind of want to see from a distance because around this range, there are guys that I think are more proven. One of those guys may be Alperen Şengün. ADP right now of 20.9, played 76 games, averaged 19 points, 10.3 rebounds, 4.9 assists, 1.1 steals, 0.8 blocks, only 0.3 3-pointers made per game. But he got you almost 50% from the field, only 69% from the free throw line. So he's kind of a punt free throw build sort of guy right now. He does have a similar profile to Domantas Sabonis and Nikola Jokić in that he's a big guy that can get you double-digit rebounds, can get you close to 5 assists per game, and he's better at steals and blocks than Domantas Sabonis is. I'm pretty sure I just mispronounced Domantas Sabonis. A lot of vowels and syllables right now. I apologize. But Alperen Şengün also has a very strong fantasy basketball playoff schedule in almost any setup. Weeks 19 to 21, 11 games. Weeks 20 to 22, 11 games. And weeks 21 to 23, plays 12 games. That's very, very helpful if you can stack him along with some other guys. Paolo Banchero also has a high playoff schedule, weeks 21 to 23 with 12 games, 11 games weeks 20 to 22, and 11 games weeks 19 to 21. Evan Mobley with the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think his ADP is kind of low. His upside to me is very high, and I like him because he tends to be reliable with his health. He played 71 games last season, got you almost 19 points per game, above 9 rebounds per game, above 3 assists per game, which I like for a guy that's also getting me 0.9 steals per game and 1.6 blocks per game. 3-pointers made per game, he's also getting you 1.23. So he's above 1 from 3-point line. He's getting me the blocks. The field goal percentage at 55.7, I like that. The free throw percentage, 72%, isn't great, but it's high enough that I don't think you have to have him in a punt free throw build. Now, you will want to be cautious because his fantasy basketball playoff schedule is not great with 9 games, 10 games, and 10 games, depending on your setup. So that's something to keep in mind. He's still a strong enough producer, but if you're going to have one of those 9-game weeks, it might be better to consider some other guys. And this might honestly be the reason his ADP is being impacted with diamond tier players. Chet Holmgren also has a pretty bad schedule, also playing 9 games, weeks 19 to 21. So with Chet, you have an ADP right now of 26. Last season, he only played 32 games. He broke his hip very early on in the season. He was able to come back and did help his team win a championship. But if you drafted him pretty high like I did in the teens, he did not end up returning that value. Can he stay healthy this season? Remains to be seen. Even if he does remain healthy, the fantasy basketball playoff schedule is not great for OKC. His profile, though, I like it. He can score, can get you 8 rebounds per game. I think that can be even higher. Get you double 2 assists per game. Is getting you 0.7 steals per game, which isn't great, but he can get you above 2 blocks per game, along with 1.4 3-pointers made per game. Shoots 49% from the field and 75.4% from the free throw line. Is also average. It's not hurting you for a guy that's getting you 2.2 blocks per game. That by itself makes him a unicorn, and he has the upside to really outproduce these numbers. I think that injury really impacted him. Right when he was building momentum, he broke his hip. So the next up on my list is Bam Adebayo with the Miami Heat. Average pick right now in Diamond Leagues of 34.2. Last season played 78 games, scored 18.1 points, 9.6 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.3 steals, 0.7 blocks per game. Got you a 3 per game, 48.5% from the field, 76.5% from the free throw line. Very well-rounded production. Of course, I would love to see more blocks from him, but he's helping me in almost every other category. He isn't really hurting the free throw percentage, so I can forgive a lot. Pascal Siakam is up next. 37.8 is his at draft position. Played 78 games last season, so very, very, very strong availability for him last season. Got you 20.2 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.5 blocks, 1.6 3-pointers made, 51.9% from the field, 73.4% from the free throw line. While kind of low, pretty close to average for a center eligible guy. I wish you got more steals and blocks, and I wish we got a few more 3-pointers from him, but he's an efficient scorer that's helping me in a lot of areas. So I classify him as a well-rounded player, and the playoff schedule is decent with 10 games, 11 games, and 10 games. He might be also getting a bigger role than he had last season because of the injury to Tyrese Haliburton. So we might see more assists from him. We might see more usage from him, more scoring from him. So he's a pretty good target if you're drafting around 35. Jaren Jackson Jr., I feel like I talk about this guy all the time, but he is another one of those unicorns that I really value. He's going at an ADP right now of 38.8. Games played last season was 74, which is pretty high for him. He tends to be injury prone. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's injured right now. He got you 22.2 points. Not a great rebounder, only 5.6 rebounds per game. Got you 2 assists per game, which is not bad. 1.2 steals. I love that from a big man. 1.5 blocks per game. I love that as well, especially when he's also getting me 2 3-pointers made per game. So he's getting me 2 3-pointers while also shooting close to 49% from the field. Love that. 78% from the free throw line. That is slightly above average, useful production. And if you draft him for weeks 21 to 23, he plays 12 games. He could be a huge difference maker if he plays all 12 of those games for you during the fantasy basketball playoff. Ivica Zubac is next on my list with an ADP of 39.1. Played 80 games last season, so he was an Ironman. He got you 16.8 points per game. He got you 12.6 rebounds per game. Ivica Zubac has an ADP of 39.1, 16.8 points per game, 12.6 rebounds per game, 2.7 assists per game, 0.7 steals per game, got you over a block per game, which is low for a big man. He does hurt your free throw percentage. It's one of the areas that he hurts you, and he also hurts you from 3. So he's kind of a punt free throw build kind of guy, but I think he pairs really well with someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo if you are punching those free throws. Now, this next guy, you don't really have to punt anything with because he's incredibly well-rounded. He's number 15 on my list. That is Nikola Vučević with the Chicago Bulls. Now, he's always in trade discussion, so it remains to be seen if he even spends the season there. But this guy ends up being so productive and helps me in so many areas I value. He's almost like a Mini-Jokić, and as a matter of fact, I think pairing him and Jokic makes your team really hard to beat because they're both guys that can get you close to 20 points per game. He can get you double-digit rebounds. You see here, he's getting you above 3 assists per game. 0.8 steals per game isn't terrible. 0.7 blocks per game, not great for a big man, but that's around what Jokić gets you. Gets you 1.8 three-pointers made per game. That's almost 2 three-pointers made per game, while also shooting 53% from the field and almost 81% from the free throw line. So that value right there, the scoring, the rebounding, the high free throw percentage, the high field goal percentage, I love to stack players with that skill set. And I find the teams you put together are so hard to beat when you're super efficient. You can still score, you can still get some volume numbers, and you can keep the turnovers low. Myles Turner, now with my Milwaukee Bucks, average draft position of 52.4, played 72 games last season, got you 15.6 points, 6.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 0.8 steals, 2 blocks per game, along with 2.2 three-pointers made, shot 48% from the field, 77% from the free throw line. He is a 3-and-D unicorn, and I value those sort of players like I tell you all the time. Very similar profile to a Jaren Jackson Jr. Not quite the scorer, but we might see more scoring from him this season on the Milwaukee Bucks. He's probably going to be second in that pecking order. As far as his fantasy basketball playoff schedule, he has 11 games, and 10 games, which makes him a pretty strong target, especially with all those threes and blocks. If you manage to get Myles Turner and Jaren Jackson Jr., and again, you're able to stack all those games, and you're able to win free throw percentage while dominating threes and blocks, I'm telling you, you can be real hard to beat. All right, guys, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this list. We're going to discuss the top 25, and then I will later make a separate video to discuss the last 25 because this video is getting long, and I really want you to be able to process and digest the information that I am giving you. So we're going to wrap up the last few to get us to the top 25. So up next, we have Walker Kessler with the Utah Jazz. Have him at 17. He's going right now in diamond tier leagues at around 52.9. Only played 58 games last season on a tanking Jazz team that got fined for playing games with availability. If you had him last season, he was a headache. Now, when he played, he was productive. He got you 12.2 rebounds per game, got you 11.11 points per game, so a low-end double-double. 1.7 assists doesn't really help you there. 0.6 steals doesn't really help you there, but 2.4 blocks, that's league-leading stuff in a world where Wemby doesn't exist. 3-pointers made isn't going to help you there. Really high field goal percentage, a strong field goal percentage anchor. The only issue is he is a punt free throw percentage sort of guy, only shooting 52% from the free throw line, which gives me pause. But if you're in a punt free throw build and you just want to load up on these punt free throw guys, Walker Kessler is a strong target. Jalen Duren, very similar profile, maybe a little more durable. At ADP of 53.7, played 78 games last season, 11.8 points per game, 10.3 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 0.7 steals, 1.1 blocks, 0 3-pointers made, and 69.2% from the field, along with 66.9% from the free throw line. Elite field goal percentage, but again, another one of those punt free throw builds. And regardless if you go with Walker Kessler or Jalen Duren, both being drafted really close to each other, they both have strong fantasy basketball playoff schedules with 11 games, and 11 games. Another one of these unicorns that I love is Kristaps Porzingis, who finds himself on a new team with Atlanta at draft position at 55.7. Only played 42 games last season, but when he did play, he was productive. Got you 19.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 0.7 steals, 1.5 blocks, along with 2.5 three-pointers made per game. Shot 48.3% from the field, 80.9% from the free throw line. That combination of threes, of blocks, of high field goal percentage, of high free throw percentage. Again, when you pair, if you can grab Jokić, if you can grab Vučević, and you can grab someone like Kristaps Porzingis, suddenly you have 3 super potent big men that fit together so well. And if you manage to grab some of these other guys we'll discuss later, I'm telling you, man, the teams you'll put together, just trust me. Keep watching, man. We're going to draft these teams together, and you'll see for yourself. Now, do keep in mind that Kristaps Porzingis, if you do draft in a league that has their playoffs weeks 19, 20, and 21, he only plays 9 games. Same thing with Jared Allen, who has an ADP of 58.2. Can get you 13.5 points per game, 9.7 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.9 blocks. Isn't going to get you any threes. The blocks is pretty low. He used to be a better shot blocker than that. But the field goal percentage at 70.6 is almost as high as his free throw percentage, which is 71.8. 71.8 free throw percentage is high enough that you don't have to consider him a punt free throw sort of guy, but it's still low enough that you can't ignore it completely. So keep that in mind if you are going with Jared Allen. Julius Randle, another guy that I had on my do not draft list, but again, too good to not include in this list. He comes in at 21, average draft position of 62.5. He played 69 games last season, got you 18.7 points, 7.1 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 0.7 steals, 0.2 blocks, 1.6 threes, 48.5% from the field, 80.6% from the free throw line. Now, similar to Vučević, the goodies here, he can score, he can rebound, he can get assists. Steals and blocks are non-existent. He can get you 1.6 threes, which in 2024, 2025 isn't amazing, but he is a center eligible player, and he can help your field goal percentage and your free throw. So those are things that I value. I would have to find guards that are getting me steals and blocks to make up for the fact that he gets you such a low amount. I mean, combined, he's getting you less than one steal and block combined. So he's not even looking like blind squirrel finding a nut into a steal or a block. He's barely doing anything there. And for a big man, that could be really detrimental unless you're drafting guards and forwards that can make up for that. Or you have Wemby in his 4 blocks per game. If you have Wemby, then Julius Randle might make sense as somebody to pair him with. Rudy Gobert. No, he's fallen off significantly over the last few years, but he still has some juice in the tank, and he's a decent punt free throw sort of guy, especially now that you can grab him in the 60 range. His ADP right now is 66.4, played 72 games last season, got you 12 points, 10.9 rebounds per game, 1.8 assists per game, 0.8 steals per game, which is not bad for a big man, 1.4 blocks per game. Elite territory to me is 1.5 or higher. He's getting, I mean, he's pretty close, but he is probably declining at this point is it in his career. So I don't know that we'll see it go much higher than 1.4. I'll still take that. 3-pointers made, none to be had. 66.9% from the field, 67.4% from the free throw line does put him in punt free throw territory. He's a great punt free throw guy. I've already told you a few that you can really pair together and put together a destructive team. As far as the fantasy basketball playoff schedule, weeks 19 to 21 has 11 games. Weeks 20 to 22 has 10 games. And weeks 21 to 23, he only has 10 games. DeAndre Ayton, have him at 23 on a new team with the Los Angeles Lakers. And I like his upside on a Lakers team that has LeBron James, Austin Reeves, also has Luka Doncic. Those are all players that can make life easier for him. And I think he needs that. I think he had more of a leadership role with the Blazers, and I don't think DeAndre Ayton is much of a leader. I think when he has a guy like Chris Paul with the Suns, he did great, and I think he'll have that with the Lakers. What are the goodies? So he can get you double-digit rebounds. He can get you double-digit scoring. Isn't going to get you many assists. Close to a steal per game, a block per game, which is pretty low considering he only gets you 66.7% from the free throw line. Doesn't really get you threes. The field goal percentage, 56.6. We might see that improve this season, again, playing with Luka and LeBron. Steady double-double, low-end double-double sort of guy. Not really a guy you grab for blocks, but if you want a high field goal percentage, if you're really targeting rebounds and you're targeting his upside and decent schedule in the fantasy playoffs with 11, 10, and 11 games, he's right now going at an ADP of around 69. So if you want a third big, I'd say he's a decent third big. Or if you're really loading up on bigs, he might be a really good fourth big on your team. All right, we're going to discuss our last 2 players in the top 25, and then we're going to wrap up this video for now, and then we will finish with the other 25. That'll be the next video that I make. So at 24, Alex Sarr with the Washington Wizards has an ADP of 74.4. Only played 67 games last season, his rookie year. He's a guy that can get you 13 points per game, got you 6.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists, got you 0.7 steals, 1.5 blocks, and 1.6 threes. That is very strong production from a rookie big man. Now, where does he hurt you? Really low field goal percentage, 39.4. Free throw percentage, 67.9. Really poor as well. Where does he help you? If you can see there, he has a very strong fantasy basketball playoff schedule. You're talking about weeks 19 to 21. He has 12 games. If you are drafting with playoffs weeks 20 to 22, he gets 11 games. And if you're drafting weeks 21 to 23, he gets 12 games. So Wizards are players that you can kind of just target and be pretty safe in almost any format. And we're talking about a guy, if you, again, pair him with someone like Jaren Jackson Jr., who also has those 12 games, or you pair him with Ivica Zubac, you pair these strong playoff games. Now, there's no guarantee they're healthy at that time of year. There's a lot of things that can happen, but fantasy basketball is a game of odds. And the more you position things in your favor, the stronger your chances are of having success. So that is why he is number 24 on this list. And number 25 just got big time by his team, the Toronto Raptors. You would have to grab him in the top 75 with an ADP of 74.9. Only played 57 games last season. Got you 14.5 points per game. Got you 9.6 rebounds per game. 2.8 assists per game is pretty decent for a big man. 1.2 steals per game. I love that. 1.2 blocks per game. Not elite territory, but it's decent, especially when you're talking about 2.4 combined steals and blocks. I will take that. Isn't helping my threes. Field goal percentage really high. Free throw percentage, he is kind of a punt free throw sort of guy. I think you can build around it to some degree, but he is going to hold you back in that category. So his ideal setup is a punt free throw build. There's a lot of strong punt free throw build big men. There's also a lot of strong free throw percentage big men, but typically they don't get you a lot of rebounds. There's caveats and there's trade-offs. So finding the middle ground, that's when guys like Vučević, who don't get the steals and blocks, but can get you the high field goal percentage and the high free throw percentage, that's when guys like that become so valuable, and you find the right balance with your 13 to 15 roster spots to just make a team that's very hard to beat 5-4 on any given week. All right, I'm going to end it here. It's been a 31-minute video. We have gone halfway through the list. It's there on the screen if you want to look at it, I guess, and cheat yourself of the great video that I will have coming soon. So do me a favor. Smash that like button if you found this video helpful. Subscribe if you still have not subscribed to Barack Lesnar Hoops, and leave me a comment letting me know how you like this video, and let me know which of these players you will be drafting and why. Again, thank you so much for your time. Until next time, this is Barack Lesnar of Barack Lesnar Hoops, and shout out to Robin Marks, Believe in Fantasy. Check him out if you have not yet. I am part of the Believe in Fantasy Network. I believe in the work he's doing, so I did want to give him a shout out as well. Until next time, watch one of these videos. It'll be either here or here. I don't know, but watch it. Until next time, this is Barack Lesnar. Take care.